Welcome to the OFX podcast. I'm your host, Dave Claxton. Along with me, as always, is the missed the boat mamacita, Bethany McChesney, because she missed the boat and didn't get her pro ticket yesterday.
Did I or didn't
I think you did. I think you got some, but not all the stuff you were after.
Yeah, well, for some reason, women's pro what kept showing sold out
It did
for
eventually, it was legitimately sold out eventually.
what? Not can't actually be sold
No, no,
out.
it's just the pre-sale portion was sold out. And that's where some people are confused. That's what I wanted to talk about right away. Is the things that are saying sold out now are not sold out. They're sold out for the pre-sale.
So the amount they were willing to sell in pre-sale.
Exactly. So yes, you are still able to, if you wanted to race women's pro, you are still able to. It just well, when this comes out, you probably should have been online.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So that's crazy because women's pro is typically the smallest
yeah,
field in Hyrox, but I'm wondering if the numbers will change because of the new rule change of not being able to qualify for Worlds from Open.
that is a solid guess. Sorry, I'm gonna play with my power bar here because it seems to not be on.
Uh-oh.
All right, that's okay. I got enough juice left. I'm fine anyway. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's I've never even thought about it, but that's a solid theory. It, which is better though. I want to see more women step up and do the pro.
Yeah, I mean, it does. If you're kind of someone who could do both, but like you've always just raced open, you're kind of scared of it, like you might as well just do pro. I do think that there's a lot of people that have been staying in open that need to give pro a shot. So,
Well, and I think you're right. There were many people, and I didn't think there were that many, but there were a lot that were out there just doing open to qualify for Worlds and then race pro there because the pro wave was too hard, and they knew, well, let's say, oh, I'm in Tara Jackson's age group. I'm not going to get that spot, so I'll go race open because maybe I can get that one.
yeah. Well, I mean, think about my age group last year. I had Maria Fessick and Katie Simonson at all the races that I went to. So I'm like, okay, an Elite 15. And then
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if I had raced open, I probably would have qualified. But
yeah. So anyway, it was a very frustrating morning for anyone
oh,
who was trying to get on. But I think probably the most frustrated person was probably Jay Muscard.
why?
Oh my God, his messages were just his phone was just exploding with what this isn't working. This it's sold out. It's not sold out. I get to the front line and bumps me. Like his phone was just
Yeah.
going nuts. I think he must have had a minor, aneurysm on the day. It's
Yeah.
probably a small heart attack, but I can't. It was just a technical error. It was a glitch. Shit happened.
Yeah, maybe the system wasn't ready for pre-sale. Like maybe I don't know.
I don't know why. I don't know why exactly. Maybe it was more than it overloaded, more than it expected.
Yeah.
Um, I have heard estimates to expect more than twice as many people as last year.
Well, we do have one more day.
Yeah, and last year, what was it around like 5, 6,000, something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I heard 7,000, but again, those numbers include spectators. So
yeah, yeah, I'm talking racers. I'm talking racers.
yeah.
And
Yeah. But again,
spectator.
if we're getting this many people at a race in Toronto, why do we not get two races in Canada? Toronto, Montreal, or Toronto and Vancouver, or like obviously the I mean the interest is there. So
Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's not an interest problem. I'm gonna guess it's a logistics and, you know, I don't want to say politics, but logistics and administrative problem.
yeah.
You know, finding contracts, finding venues, finding all that stuff. So that's my guess. Because yeah, the interest is everywhere right now. You could put one in wherever, I don't know. You could put one in Regina, you'd do great,
Yeah.
right? Winnipeg,
Yeah.
places nobody ever goes. Sorry for Winnipeg and Regina. I like them both. But you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you could put them in. By the way, I get surprised. I went to Sacramento the other day, and I guess we'll probably talk about a little bit about that. It's only like 500,000 people. And
Mhm.
they have like an NBA team. I get blown away by some of that. Same with like Anaheim. Anaheim is pretty small. Now I know they're in bigger areas, but like, man, we need more teams.
Yeah. Well, it's not always the area, it's also where they draw from.
Yeah.
So
That's why
if it's
the NHL is talking about going back to Atlanta again for the third failure.
mhm.
All right. So yeah, so I got my tickets yesterday. I was amazing. And I did sign up for my Pro Wave
Good.
Friday. And then
And
I
you're gonna run
am,
it this time.
what's that?
And you're gonna run it this time?
Yeah, because it's my first one. It's the first race.
Yeah.
So I got that on Friday. Saturday, I'm not racing anything. And then Sunday, I'm doing relay.
Mhm.
The thing that did bother me about the sign up is now I didn't do this for mine, but for the relay. For the relay, I had to buy, and okay, so we get a relay of dudes over 40.
Yeah.
Two of our dudes are over 60. So we had to make sure we got that insurance, the cancellation or whatever, because now you need to pay extra money up front if you even think there's a chance you're going to need to change the ticket at all.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, there's four of us over 40, two over 60. There's a good chance one of us is not going to make it to the start line.
Yeah.
But now it's like it used
So
to
what
be
happens if you don't pay that and then you have to switch? You just can't?
your SOL.
Oh.
Yeah. And the
You
same
just
like
eat it. You just eat your ticket.
yeah, the same like if you buy your pro ticket and get hurt beforehand and don't pay that extra up front, you're done. You lose the ticket. That's it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Well, so I was thinking about this also, and I think what this is preventing is people buying multiple tickets
mhm.
and then selling them off last minute. Even buying pro and open. Oh, I'll decide when I get closer how well my training's going, and then sell one off.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And basically I believe you're right. And I believe they're attempting to stop scalping as well, like people buying tickets and then racking up the price and selling them off.
yeah,
But in order to stop scalping, it's those of us who just want to race paying the price for that.
yeah. So especially like the insurance policy of it, instead of just paying later when you have to change your ticket.
Hmm.
If you have to change your ticket, I should say.
Yeah, yeah, or yeah,
Yeah.
or limit the amount of tickets people can buy. Like I don't know, it's a lot like when Spartan charges you for parking when you buy your ticket, even
Yeah.
when you're carpooling. So there might be
Mhm.
like four of us going together, and each one of us has paid 20 bucks for parking, and we're only bringing one car.
Right.
It kind of feels like that. It's like I don't,
Yeah.
but I had to get it. I had to.
Yeah.
It's like for relays and doubles especially.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That one was a little bit of it, and it's like 40 bucks for the relay team.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Hyrox is not cheap anymore. That's for sure.
No, they be making it, and for some reason, we're like Canada, North America, the States, we're one of the more expensive areas.
Well, because we pay it because we don't have many options.
They're doing raffles to who can buy the tickets in England, and they're paying less than us.
Oh, that's interesting. Huh.
Yeah, yeah, it's weird. We should all went to India where there's only 1,000 people at the race.
But then you got to get to India.
And this is going to be offensive. There is nowhere least I would like to go than India.
No?
I think that's pretty low on the list for me for places I'd like to go. Like you want to talk about too many people in a space? That's too many people in a space for me.
Oh, yeah. I've been in New Delhi before for a track
Mhm.
meet, and there's nothing like congestion like in a big city in India.
Interestingly enough, though, if you went to the Hyrox, there'd be less people around.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a less congested spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw, but yeah, I saw that was like 1,000 people in India. I'm like, oh wow, okay.
Wow.
I still yeah. So anyway, tickets were gone. But they're back, and since this is probably going to come out Thursday morning, later today, you can buy your regular tickets. There'll be more. Not too
Yeah,
bad.
hopefully they figured out the glitch in the system because that was pretty frustrating.
Oh, I was lucky. I had nothing to do that day.
Yeah.
So I just like whatever. I just let the computer run until it figured itself out.
Ugh.
And it was funny though, at like 3,000 go down to 20 and then back to 3,000. It's just like,
Yeah, that's what kept happening with ours too.
yeah, it was everybody was going through the same
Yeah.
thing.
Hmm.
It's done. Well, it's done until this next round goes. But I'm excited. I'm excited to go do it. I'm gonna have a good time, have fun, get my pro time in. Hopefully Jeff and I get in the same wave. That would be a lot of fun.
Well, you got to put the same
I did.
projected finishing time. Okay.
Yeah, we did. But
Then you should.
yeah, we should, but you never know.
No, that's true.
Right?
That's
Like that's how Maria Fetchik ends up in wave three. And
right.
and
Not with Amy.
Amy
Yeah.
Bevilacqua, yeah. So that's how that happens. Um, all right. I wanted to ask you, let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Oh, Hyrox. Okay, let's stick with Hyrox here. Did you watch the video that Matt did, the interview with Matt Locke, who's like the new head of sport guy for Hyrox?
No.
Okay. Well, shit, you should have.
I told you I've been living in arenas and arenas do not have good.
Oh yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Why?
basically, um, Matt asked him when the elites, because he's basically talking about the rules for the Elite 15. We'll just go on that these are just for the Elite 15 and haven't filtered down to the rest of the people yet. But he basically went on that the counters, as he put it, now I might be a little off on my statement, but I want to give it a fair shake. I want to sound very accurate, but basically he was saying they don't take days off, they don't have bad arguments with their spouses, they don't get tired, they don't need breaks, and we're talking about the wall ball counters and basically how they're good. Um, and when Matt asked, so when we're doing our wall balls, when the Elite 15 is doing the wall balls, do they watch the counter? Do they watch the judge? Who has the final say? And he never really specifically answered that, but he seemed to lean towards the counters have the final say because that's what happened with Sean Noble.
Yeah.
Um, I find this concerning. Uh, and then he insinuated when Matt asked if there how he felt about the controversy with Sean Noble. He's like, well, I don't think there was a controversy. He didn't do 100 wall balls, so that's it. And I,
Ugh.
I urge you to go watch it. It's like a 20-minute video, not just you, Beth, but like everybody watching. I urge you to go watch it and just give me your flattered opinion. But for me, um I was just kind of put off. I thought when they announced that Matt, this guy, and he's a good person, that he was going to be like the new sport guy, the new go-to guy. I thought that's awesome. This is going to be like a good conduit for communication and information and stuff like that. And it just came across like even more of a closed door than before. And
Mhm.
it's just
A bit of just burying your head in the sand and make these things go away kind of thing.
yeah. And like I said, I don't want to say anything bad about the guy because I know for a fact he's a good person. He's a good guy. But just the role that he was playing there, I was like, oh, man, this does not sit well with me. It made me feel like they were insulting my intelligence. Like, oh, the counters are great, counters are great. The one that I had with me didn't work. The one that Jeff had with him didn't work. We saw I'm going to say more than a dozen malfunction in the time we were in Vegas for
Yeah.
one reason or another,
Yeah.
right? And here's the thing, even if they worked perfectly every time, I'm still going with the judge because the judge has the final say. Like, I can't watch the counter make sure. I put it like you wouldn't fly in an airplane even if it had only autopilot. If there's not a real pilot in there, I'm not getting on that thing, right?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it is great, the technology, the system.
Mhm.
Um, but like again, the errors happen with humans and with
Mhm.
technology, but I think ultimately having the human being able to take over
Yeah.
in logical circumstances, like with a malfunction, should supersede.
Yeah, like tell me another sport out there that just uses the technology, doesn't use an official of some kind to do it. Like tennis, they have that line judge that they call it the Cyclops.
Hmm.
But there's still an actual person doing line judging. There's still a head umpire. You
Yeah.
know, baseball now they don't use it, but they have that strike zone box you see on TV. They don't
Yeah.
use that. They still have the umpire. Like you,
Well, yeah, no sports too, like with hockey with replays, they use the human first and then they use the technology
mhm.
to, if they have any controversy.
Yeah, it's just in my mind these things have not proven themselves enough at all to warrant that kind of dependence on them.
Yeah.
And it just I don't know. Like I said,
Well, we'll see. Hopefully we don't have another situation like with Sean Noble because that's kind of your worst case scenario.
yeah. And then to insinuate that the Sean Noble thing wasn't a controversy at all is just come on. Like
Yeah.
it was totally anytime there's an appeal that challenges who makes the world championships and it's and an original decision is overturned, it's a controversy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It just is. Like it's almost pure definition.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so anyway, that was I urge people to go check it out. It is on Matt's YouTube channel. It's worth listening to. And just make your own opinions on what you thought of it. But yeah, it did make me a little uncomfortable. I was disappointed,
Yeah. Okay.
and I was very hopeful prior to that. Um, yeah. So that was it. They did say again though, and I'll ask you how you feel about this, that the we talked about it before. The athletes will have 60 minutes to submit an appeal, and then Hyrox will have 48 hours to determine the outcome of the appeal.
48 hours.
Yes.
Oh, I don't like that, but
And he didn't answer it directly, even though Matt did ask. Um, Matt asked what video will you take, and he pretty much said any video, any evidence, all sorts of evidence. So
so then they're willing to still do podiums
mhm,
without finalizing a dispute.
yes,
Yeah, I don't like that, but
yeah, and neither do I. And I mean, this is a position that I've been in, and I'm like, no, it's you shouldn't need 48 hours.
no.
This is not it's not that complicated.
Hmm.
Like I don't know. So I didn't like that either. And that was another thing from the video. And then I guess the other glaring thing for me was they asked why the relays were being held on Saturday and not at the end of the weekend like last year. And he said just because we're having the adaptive at the end of the competition, and it's going to be great.
On Sunday.
Yeah. So now the doubles championship goes after the relay.
Yeah, so the one thing I do I understand though the relay being on Saturday also means then that people who want to do the relay, sometimes Sunday night is hard because if people are traveling, it gives those people an opportunity to still do the relay. So I don't necessarily disagree with it being there. I mean, I did plan before I knew the schedule that I would be doing a relay on Sunday as kind of like, finish it
Mhm.
off, have some fun with my friends, but
No,
I
but so
don't.
I'm talking at World Championships.
Oh, sorry, that's interesting.
Yeah, World Championships now the relay is before the doubles World Championship.
The Elite 15 doubles.
Yeah. See, I'm like if I was racing in the doubles World Championship, right? And let's say it was mixed and you're my partner. I'm not racing in that team relay even if I get the chance because I don't want to let you down racing our doubles. You know what I mean? Like and with those doubles, those races are so close that like 5 seconds could drop you 2 spots.
Hmm.
5 seconds could be podium to fifth. And I wouldn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I'm trying to think of how many people are in this position. Yeah, I
we don't know
mean,
yet because we don't know the teams.
yeah, no, we don't really.
But we
But
do we do know the captains. And Maria is our captain again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So she has the unenviable task of picking a team. And
Hmm.
pissing. Yeah, pissing some people off and picking.
Yeah.
That was right. I said that right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That would be hard. I really liked, I forget which country it was, but they posted a like a workout that they had to complete and then submit a video and their score. Just make
So,
it a little bit more objective.
so Maria actually did that last year.
Yeah. Well, it was a submission video.
Yes, that's right. And then I think you're thinking Hugo Huge. I think
Yes, Hugo did it. Yeah.
and some other countries are doing it too. Ireland just picked their team. I think this is our team, and it looks like a good team. But yeah, so they just picked their team. We'll see. Australia, Joanna captain, not JK.
He might have said no.
Mm, I doubt it. I doubt it, but I just thought that was interesting. That was interesting. I have no idea. I have no theory as to why or speculation. I'm just like, that's interesting because I mean, JK is kind of
Will Tia be on it? Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Yes.
I
Because
think
when you're
so.
talking about like
Yeah,
an
it's
all
a
out
single zone, all
effort,
out. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, you're putting Tia on it.
Which
Uh-huh.
one? So what are you putting her on the sled? Sled in the wall ball? Or an
Sled pull and
erg?
wall balls.
Or an erg in the wall ball?
Yeah, she could, I mean, give her anything. I don't know. She could do, she
Yeah,
could smash
yeah.
it.
Yeah, as long as like, yeah, just it'd be interesting. But yeah, she probably would be. She probably would be on it. They tried it last year where they tried to bring on an erg specialist.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That
it
didn't,
just yeah, it didn't quite work out. I think just the run just was too fast for them to
yeah.
make use on the erg.
Uh-huh.
Because
Yeah,
if you're an erg specialist, what are you going to make up on the erg? 5 seconds over some of the other guys, right?
yeah.
But if
I
you
mean, we know
can't,
now Tia can run, so
yeah, but if you can't run, you're going to lose 20 to 30.
yeah.
So, but yeah,
I could see Tia on a sled pull and wall balls.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And now they used pro weight for that one for
Yeah,
mixed,
you
right?
do.
So,
Yeah. For the World Championships relay, they use Pro 8.
and
Yeah.
it's yeah, and it's mixed as well. So they use women's pro weight.
Yeah. Mhm.
Interesting, interesting. Or would you make up more time having one of the big dudes
I
push?
still think you're going to put the guys on the ergs.
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll
yeah.
see.
And usually the women on the wall balls because just
Yeah.
they traditionally are faster. It's at lower target, so that range of motion isn't as far.
Yeah.
Your repetitions or your cadence is quicker. So anyway, I think you're right. I think you probably, but that will also be that day Tia's third race. Or sorry,
The
because
day before 2 races, she does.
she's racing two different doubles because she's racing Elite 15 with Joanna, and then she's racing with James Newberry in the mixed in the co-ed.
Yeah, but if any athlete here
Yeah,
who's used
she can
multi-day
recover.
racing, I think she's going to be fine.
It'd be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what she does. It'll be that's cool. I'd not even thought about that, but yeah.
Mhm.
Um, it's I don't know. I think this year Maria's got a tough. I think a lot of like Maria's got a tougher choice for the men,
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of men who are all
and
so
they're all lumped together.
yeah. Yeah. And then, but I think again, you have to look at who really excels on certain stations.
Mhm.
Kind of like, is there that super standout on this one station where like, no one can touch them on it kind of thing. So I think that's what you're looking at with the relay more than anything is top run speed. And then where are they just a monster on a certain machine? So it's so different because you can have good athletes in the total of Hyrox, but they're kind of good at everything, but not like a standout at one thing. Whereas relay, you can really pull someone who's like like an Austin on lunges, where like he does a mile of lunges for fun on his lunch break kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if Austin will be going though. I would think Cole wouldn't be near the top of the list,
Yeah.
having run like that, 57 and pretty far. And then yeah, like I mean, guys like Samuel Ebert, Austin, Isaac, Adam,
Bruce is in that mix too.
Bruce. Yeah, like there's a lot of
Yeah.
guys all lumped in one that could, depending on the day they have, could be the guy.
Yeah.
And I'll say I'd be surprised if someone other than Katie is the other female for it. Not that there's not some other good women out there, but just she's got the experience, and I don't think anyone has established themselves as like lights out better.
Yeah, yeah. And you know Katie's gonna show up. She's one of the most consistent racers on the planet, as we know. Like you know what you're gonna get with Katie. So um yeah, I mean, same thing. I would be surprised if it was anybody else. And same with like I think Cole will be on that team as well. And then I think it's the other male.
Yeah, the other male will be the mystery, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And anything else for Hyrox? I don't know. Other than same place, Care Center, great venue. Very excited. Going to be a lot of fun. I will not be staying down there. I'll be driving back and forth. It's just easier for me and
Mhm.
cheaper. And yeah, yeah. Nobody park where I like to park. Keep
Yeah.
parking outside the venue. Don't worry about it. There is no underground parking.
There is it is pretty good for parking, so
It was great. I didn't even
yeah.
have to use bag check
Yeah.
because it was
Yes.
parked so close.
Hmm.
All right. I wanted to ask you about this because this is something that I know is big to you. And I had a message that was on the message. So Mitch Hooper, right?
Yeah.
Our world strongman guy, Canadian guy.
The moose.
Yeah. Do you want to go? You want to tell the story?
Yeah, so Mitch Hooper, I first met Mitch Hooper in 20, I don't know, it was a year and a half, 2 years ago. So the strongman, um, in the strongman, at a strongman competition that my brother was competing at. And so he has a very entertaining Instagram account.
Yes.
And I think some of this is what it has gotten him into trouble. So, but anyways, it came out in the last week that Mitch Hooper admitted to having an affair on his wife, who is pregnant with their second. She just had her first not that long ago, with his wife's best friend, who was also their maid of honor, who is also his assistant, I guess. He did admit to it, with a statement that he made on a story. I didn't see it. And then the wife kind of said her own piece about basically context being missing and whatever, and then deleted him entirely from her Instagram. Um, so that's kind of it. And I think for me, I was shocked. I'm never shocked when I hear someone's cheating on someone because to me,
Mhm.
I'm like, it's, I've been around long enough to know it never shocks me when you hear
What
about
do they say? 50%? 50% of
50%,
relationships?
50%. And then I think too, when you talk about athletes where there's testosterone involved, the percentage probably goes up a little bit higher. And then when you throw in fame and success,
Mhm.
fame, success, testosterone, all mixed together, I'm sure the percentage is higher. Um, but anyways, when the thing that shocked me more than that Mitch Hooper had an affair was that he had been making posts recently on his Instagram about how men are supposed to behave in the gym when attractive women are working out. And it was a lot of like, turn your head and I have a wife, I have a baby at home, and he had also been slamming another strong man, Luke
One of the
Stolman,
Stallmans. One of the Stallmans, yeah.
yeah, about his affairs. So he was very public about the real men don't do this against his competitor Luke. So that's more why I think he's being hit so hard with
Yeah.
all the online trolls and stuff. You can't go to any of his posts right now and he's not just completely trolled. And I think it's more so because of the way he was posting previously about this type of thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, it sucks. I did meet the guy. He was a really nice guy.
And
He has tattoos on his leg well, I mean, his whole brand is lift heavy, be kind. He is a very friendly dude. So I don't know, very likable.
And
Doesn't mean
and
that he's
that's the
not.
thing. This is the guy that
Yeah.
like we both were like, kind of fans of. Like, oh, great, awesome, Canadian
Yeah.
dude, and he seems like a nice guy. Yeah, yeah. And
Mhm.
there's been some, if you ever want to go for some entertainment, there's been some entertaining versions of Lift Heavy Be Kind and the LHBK. Okay, different versions of what it means. So,
Yeah, now.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and he's being torn up so bad online now.
So the
But the
question,
interesting thing is he has not stopped posting
no,
like work and stuff. I'm like, just disappear for a little while, dude. Take a little break from social media.
no,
Just disappear.
he's taken that approach of I've been out there, I've said my piece, I've done, I did wrong, I admitted, blah, 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 now I'm just going to carry on like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And I don't think that works.
No, it almost makes you feel like he's like brushing it off in a way.
A little bit, a little bit. Like there
Yeah.
needs to be a little repentance time.
Yeah.
So that raises the question in my head. As fans, should we care?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not judging either way. I'm like, just should we?
Mhm.
Like if we're a Leaf fan and Mitch Marner sleeps around with whoever, wherever, should we care?
I know it's so tricky because I find our athletes now, especially with social media and with someone like Mitch, who's just so um, he's so out there on social media, and his sponsors like Rain and stuff, like he's constantly posted online. You become so much more of an icon and a role model and a celebrity, even outside of your sport, that people just do care about everything in your life. And he posts constantly, like multiple posts a day. So you feel like you get to know them. Like, we do feel like we know the people that we follow on social media. So we care probably more than we should
Yeah,
because we feel like we know them. So we're like, bro, like I thought you were better than this. But I mean, we don't know Mitch Hooper. From a fan standpoint, he's still remarkably successful. He is the world's strongest man, three-time Arnold champion. Um, it doesn't change his accolades as an athlete.
no,
And we do see this all the time with big celebrity type um, athletes. Tiger Woods, his was one of the most public and out there also, and especially because of how everything went down. It doesn't change the fact that Tiger Woods is still one of the greatest golfers of all time.
yeah.
I'm more curious now though, and kind of relating it to the Tiger Woods thing too, where when he goes back to competition, is it going to affect him? Is he gonna still have like the fanfare that he did before? You know, is he gonna walk out, or are people gonna boo him? Like that affects you in performance.
Well, because they used to chant moose and then now they'll do boo, it's very hard to tell the difference. So you'd be fine.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
I think one thing's for sure is Stallman. Like if I'm Luke Stallman, I am gonna just give it to him. Like you hypocrite. Like
Oh, absolutely.
like
Yeah,
that might be worth, hey, I owe you a punch in the face. Like you gotta let me drill you because you owe me.
yeah,
I would think. I would think that, according to the man code, that's how it should be done. Free
yeah,
shot.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you look at the amount of people that are slamming him online, and we're like, well, are you perfect too? Like, the hate online just kind of boggles my mind. Like, but I mean, that's the internet for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, what he did was horrible. He was a complete hypocrite. Da, 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 and he,
He has
just
a pregnant wife at
pregnant
home.
wife. That's not
Yeah.
cool.
No.
Um, but yeah, I was thinking, like I said, as fans, we form these one-sided relationships with these people.
Yeah.
And then we have these expectations of them, and we're so disappointed when they don't live up to our expectations, when we really have no right to have these expectations because they're not our friends,
Right.
you know,
Right.
except the ones that are, and you guys don't disappoint us.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I thought it's an interesting thing. It is unfortunate. I feel very bad for his wife and stuff like that, and everyone involved. So we'll see where it goes. It'll be something to watch. Um, the other thing I wanted to go over, we were going to talk a little bit. We were going to talk about World Fitness Project, but we'll get a little more information on that later on. Other than to say, early reviews are, it happened. It went very well. The athletes had a good time, was a good turnout, said it was really professionally done. There was some issues with the stream and more like lighting, nothing horrible, just like lighting and this and that. And the fact that it wasn't on YouTube, it was on their website which made it a little more difficult to find. And also, if you wanted to rewind or fast forward or anything, it was a lot harder to do.
Um,
So I don't know. They did it because they wanted it to be available in multiple languages, which is a good reason, but I think in hindsight, it might have been a mistake.
yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so from all intents and purposes, it went really well. So we'll get more on that. The one thing we will talk about is from it, or not from that, but CrossFit wise, or do we even call it CrossFit anymore? Because you can't really be competitive fitness, world of competitive fitness.
Uh-huh.
Um, One of our favorites, Miriam Von Rohr, was at the French Throwdown, and I don't remember which event it was, but she was doing some heavy lifting. It was a heavy sandbag she was
It was
lifting,
a sandbag, yeah.
and she dropped it and fell to the floor, had some shaking going on. Was not a seizure apparently, by definition, but yeah, definitely there's some issues there, and she's okay, but
Mhm.
she says in her post that she believes her central nervous system has just been overloaded, and she's had some issues recently and stuff like that, which is unfortunate because it looks like at the moment she's actually qualified for the CrossFit Games
Yeah.
through the
Yeah.
online process, pending some appeals that have
Uh-huh.
because I think it was Sydney Wells, one of the Wells sisters, I think it was Sydney or Brooke, I can't remember which one, but got like bumped
Brooke.
Brooke. Oh,
Brooke
sorry,
got
Brooke.
bumped to like 101
Yeah,
place.
from like seventh or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of no reps, which was kind of spearheaded by Hiller
Yeah.
because she wasn't going far enough to the ground, wasn't going chest to ground on the burpees. And he put up some posts, and then of course the Hiller Mafia went on and put needs review, needs review, needs review, and they reviewed it. And he's not wrong often when he catches it. As much as
Yeah.
he can be a douche, he's not wrong about it when he catches it. It's usually because it's wrong, and they nailed her.
Yeah. And
So
something
yeah,
like 73 no reps on one workout.
pardon me.
Something like 73 no reps on
Yeah,
one workout, which bumped
mm,
her entirely out of it.
yeah, yeah. So, but Miriam right now is the benefit of that. But will she even be able to compete?
I think she'll be fine. I'm sure this is something too where she just needs to probably, take some rest and,
Hmm.
just calm the system down and
I hope so because I mean I know this for her. This is and she's a person that I've had some conversations with. Big dream for her to make it, like big dream.
oh
And she's
yeah.
always done so well in the open,
Yeah.
and hopefully she gets to live it out for this year. And if not, she'll be back. But yeah, with the whole Hyrox tie, and we've kind of always been rooting for her, and she is a very nice person, very sweet. Probably
Mhm.
doesn't cheat on her wife. I'm assuming. Not that she has a wife. She may not. I don't really know.
I don't know.
I don't think she does. I don't think she does. So anyway, yeah, hopefully she gets better and we're all for that. And I guess like we didn't talk since I got back from Sacramento, which was another good DecaFit event, which we had zero controversy. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Been going good. And from my perspective, with my job with the judging, we keep getting better and better and better and better. It's improving every time. And we
Mhm.
had another event with over 1,000 people, over 1,000 racers going through. The relays are just pumping out people. Like so many people are doing the relays and getting into it. And it
Mhm.
was a lot of fun. It was really good. And I got another baton. It's right here, right here. There we go. Gold one this time with Nelson.
Nice.
There we
Mhm.
go. Didn't do the ruck this time. When I got there, I had signed up and planned to do the ruck, and I got there, and Nelson's like, "Hey, you want to do the relay?" And I'm like, "Yes, yes, I do." So we went for it. Did the old guy relay.
Nice.
So it was good. Oh my God, though. So when Juan and I do our relay, we have our kind of turbo and tank thing we do where, he runs and I do zones and that's the way we do it. Well, Nelson wanted to split it like kind of down the middle. Oh, that hurt
So you had to run.
a lot and fast and it hurt. I could not recover from the runs very well. Like, I mean, obviously we did okay. We did okay. But yeah, and I will give Nelson credit. He ran really well. He did really good too because he was coming off an injury and he did really well.
Mhm.
But oh my God, those runs hurt me so bad because I haven't this portion of my training especially. I have not been focused on running it anymore, and definitely not speed work. Like I haven't done
Yeah.
speed work probably since Worlds because I've just been, you know, zone two cardio and gaining strength and stuff like that. Then now and then as we get closer to Worlds this year, we pick up the speed work and dial in more, right? That's kind of the plan, the process I've been going through. So to jump into something where I'm running all out this early, I was like, oh fuck. This is probably the most
Mhm.
painful one I've ever done.
Mhm. Mhm.
Especially I did, and I don't think I've ever done this, but I did um after the row. We split the row too, which is something I've never done in a fit. So we split the row, and then he did the first lap after the row, and I did the second lap, and then I did the box overs as I came in because he had had some knee issues, and we didn't want to risk him doing the box overs.
Mhm.
That's when it became really hard for me to recover after that. Just
Yeah, that's early.
yeah, yeah, and that was early, and then I was just sucking wind the rest of the way. I mean, again, still performed well. I mean, I had a good. We split the bike, but I had a good portion of my bike, and everything else went pretty well. But that last run just hurt so bad. It just hurt so bad. So
Mhm.
anyway, but it was good fun, and it was nice to run with Nelson. He's a good guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, and very little travel chaos. Other than they put me through Vancouver instead of Denver for some reason on the way home. I don't know. I woke up. I was supposed to go Denver to Toronto. I went Vancouver to Toronto for some reason.
Mhm.
Who knows? It was
Mhm.
good. Other than that, that's it. That's all I got for today.
Yeah.
Are you good?
Yes. Yeah. We are just sitting, waiting, hoping we get all of our tickets for Hyrox Toronto. I hope all my clients do too, because I mean, we've kind of been waiting for this now. So I hope everything works out. So, and I hope that everyone listening, you get your tickets for Toronto and it's not mayhem with the system. So,
If you're not a client of Bethany's, you should probably wait an hour after it opens so that Bethany's clients have a chance.
yes, please. Thank you very much. We really want this.
We need
Yes,
more.
thanks so much. What's
Yeah,
that?
the fact of the matter, we need more. You said it earlier. We need more races. We need more races.
We just do. Like, even to have one race in the year that's really feasible for the people in this area. You know, a lot of my clients finished Toronto High Rocks last year and they're like, I wish I could do it again in like 3 or 4 months. Because you're still so close and you know what you need to work on. Then you have to wait a whole other year. Like
Mhm.
it does take the wind out of your sails a little bit if that's what you're focusing on and you're not really willing to travel too far. So,
That said, if you don't get into Hyrox, remember there is Deadly Dozen, there is DECA, there is RX1, there is all sorts of little independent gym events. There's Festivus that happens, which is a lot of fun. There is smaller Hyrox gym events. So keep your eyes
mhm.
open. If you don't get in, it's not the end of the world. There's lots of other cool races to do.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. It's not the only one. So,
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
That's
thanks so much, everyone, for listening, and all the best this week. Get those High Rocks Toronto tickets.